Everything that you think that you know about Miami is wrong. The city has changed fast, and if you're still picturing it the way it was even 2 years ago, then you're missing one of the biggest urban transformations in the United States. So today I'm breaking down 10 major shifts that prove that Miami's old reputation is gone for good. Let's get into it. First up, we're seeing the most dramatic vertical transformation in the city's history. Super tall towers and bold new development policies are completely reshaping the skyline and redefining what Miami looks like from the ground up. Miami's skyline isn't locked in the past with Art Deco and low-rise buildings anymore. Super tall towers and new development policies are completely reshaping the way Miami looks, and the skyline may feel different every single time that you visit. Take the Waldorf Astoria Hotel and Residence Miami. At a little over 1,000 feet tall and 100 stories, it's Florida's first super tall skyscraper. This building doesn't just add to the skyline, it redefines it. This stacked glass cube design creates 9 offset structures that stand out instantly from anywhere in the city. Inside, smart building technology and private elevators make daily life more efficient and exclusive, blending convenience with high-end living. Now, none of this would have even been possible without the Live Local Act. This new legislation allows for developers to exceed old height restrictions and build to the maximum density within a 1-mile radius. It's a complete reset for how vertical construction works in Miami, and it opens the door to projects that reach unprecedented heights while also addressing community housing needs. Another example is the Aston Martin residence. 66 stories, 391 units, and it was 100% sold out before it even finished construction. That kind of demand shows how branded luxury living has taken hold in Miami. And it wasn't just a milestone for real estate, it marked the British luxury car maker's first step into residential living. The building itself raised the bar with features like infinity pools, AI-powered smart homes, and private elevators. Now, what used to be upgrades are now the baseline for Miami's newest towers. Together, these projects show that Miami's growth isn't just about sprawl anymore, it's about building upward with intention. The city is essentially creating vertical communities that combine technology, sustainability, and luxury in ways that nobody could have imagined just a decade ago. But here's the truth, skylines don't mean much if you can't move through the city, right? And that's why Miami's transit transformation may end up being one of the most surprising change of all. People love to say that Miami's public transit is outdated and inefficient, but the truth is that belief is outdated too. Miami is in the middle of the biggest transit transformation in its history. The SMART program is leading the way with a $1.9 billion investment across 6 rapid transit corridors. It's the largest transit infrastructure plan Miami has ever seen, and it's fundamentally changing how residents move throughout the city. The North Corridor is one of the most important pieces. It's going to extend service from Martin Luther King Station all the way to the Hard Rock Stadium. That means getting to major events without the nightmare of parking or traffic jams. Then there's Brightline. They've committed $400 million to expand west towards Tampa, creating a 320-mile high-speed rail network that ties Miami to Florida's biggest cities. The Orlando-Tampa leg will take about an hour, which is much faster than driving, and it's a complete game changer for both businesses and leisure travel. The South Dade Transitway is another major upgrade. Bus Rapid Transit will bring prepaid fares, level boarding, and other features that will cut down on the delays that used to frustrate riders. It's designed to be competitive with driving times, so taking the bus actually makes sense. By mid-2025, 60-foot battery electric buses will be rolling out, bigger, greener, and ready to handle increased ridership while cutting emissions. On top of that, a $72 million upgrade is modernizing everything from fare collection to ticket vending and monitoring systems, fixing the kind of breakdowns that gave Miami Transit a bad reputation in the first place. Altogether, this is more than just transit upgrades. It's a complete shift in how people can live, work, and explore Miami without depending on a car. And it's the backbone that supports the dense vertical growth we just talked about. The same growth fueling new tech hubs and innovation districts across the city. Of course, none of this matters if Miami can't protect itself from rising seas and extreme weather. And that brings me to the next major transformation. But before I jump there, make sure that you hit subscribe. Most real estate content is stuck in the past, but here you're gonna get the up-to-date insights early looks at emerging neighborhoods, and of course, investment opportunities that other people won't catch until months later. Now, let's tackle one of the biggest misconceptions about Miami, that the city is ignoring climate change and flood risks. The reality is nothing could be further from the truth. Miami is facing these challenges head on with the most comprehensive climate resilience strategy the city has ever rolled out. Let's start with the comprehensive stormwater master plan. I know you were waiting for this one, but every flood-prone area in Miami-Dade is mapped out by watershed, and each one has a targeted engineering solution. This is a systematic approach, not a band-aid type of fix. Funding is backed by dedicated stormwater utility fees, $6 per month for Miami-Dade County and $3.50 per month for the city of Miami. That means that progress doesn't stop or slow down depending on politics or budget cycles. The planning horizon is long-term too. Miami is looking at 30-year flood risk projections for 2040, 2060, 2080, and even 2100, if you could believe that. They are making sure that the infrastructure investments that we're making today will still work as conditions evolve. Technology is also a big part of the equation. LiDAR flood mapping gives the county unprecedented precision in identifying risks and deciding where to build defenses. And development isn't exempt from responsibility. The city of Miami now requires LEED Silver certification for all new buildings over 50,000 square feet. That captures every major project, and it sets a clear standard for sustainable construction. Miami Beach has already gone a step further, achieving LEED Gold certification citywide for sustainability initiatives. That's not just compliance, it is true leadership. And to tie it all together, the city committed $122 million in resilience funding across 29 projects and 9 different departments. That makes sure that climate resilience isn't siloed, it is built into every corner of city planning. The big picture here is clear. Miami's climate resilience strategy is showing that protecting the environment and growing the economy can actually work hand in hand. Smarter adaptation is boosting property values, it's attracting investment, and it's laying the groundwork for long-term stability. But now let's talk about another misconception, that Miami is just for tourists and people's second homes or their vacation homes. And the reality is the opposite. Miami has become America's second fastest growing metro, with people choosing to live here full time and build their futures. Between July 2023 and July 2024, Miami-Dade has added more than 64,000 new residents. That's a 2.3% growth rate, more than double the national average. Miami isn't just keeping pace, it's setting the standard. And the biggest driver of that growth? Well, you guessed it, it's international migration. More than 123,000 people moved here from abroad in a single year, putting Miami at the top of the nation. That global appeal reflects Miami's role as a true international business and lifestyle hub. Even the city of Miami itself is outpacing the region, adding over 16,000 new residents. That's a 3.5% growth rate. The urban core isn't just surviving, it truly is thriving. So to put that in perspective, Miami ranked 11th in numeric growth out of nearly 20,000 US cities. That is not a vacation town stat. That means that Miami is a national player. So if you zoom out to the metro area, and Miami's population has reached 6.37 million in 2025, and that's up 1% from last year. And it's not just those raw numbers, that's the sustained momentum, showing that this isn't just a short-term COVID trend, it is showing that people want to move here and live here full time. Foreign buyers are also playing a major role. In 2024, they made up 10% of all purchases here. That is 5 times the national average. They have spent over $3.1 billion on property, and that capital inflow is fueling developments, it's stabilizing the market, and it's proving Miami's global pull. And again, it's not just tourists or retirees who are moving in. We are talking about entrepreneurs, executives, investors, and families. These are people who are putting down roots. They're building companies and they're creating long-term communities. This is what's transforming Miami from that seasonal vacation town that you might have thought of a couple years ago into a year-round economic powerhouse. And speaking of powerhouses, let's look at how this population boom is fueling one of the most exclusive luxury real estate markets in America. If you think Miami's luxury market is just a small niche dominated by locals, then you are missing one of the biggest drivers of the city's transformation. Miami's luxury scene is global, diverse, and it's expanding at a pace that rivals any city in the world. Foreign buyers come from 49 different countries, which means that no single nation controls the market. That diversity is a big part of what makes Miami's luxury sector so stable. Just look at the Aston Martin residence I talked about before. 99% of those units were spoken for before the project even finished. Prices stretched from $550,000 all the way up to $59 million for that triplex penthouse. And that's proving that the market has depth across every level of luxury. And it's not stopping there. The Bentley residence is rewriting the rulebook with 61 stories, in-unit multi-car garages, and private car elevators, literally bringing the automotive branding into the core of residential living. Also on the channel, you can look at that video tour that I did with my friend Daniela, the VP of Sales at Bentley. It's an absolutely incredible project. It has its own video on the channel. Now, on the single family side, North Bay Road might be one of the most valuable residential strips in the entire country. With just 150 waterfront properties, it holds a collective value of $1.7 billion. Since 2020, the area has seen $1.19 billion in sales, including 24 deals over $20 million. Land values, well, they tell the same story. Waterfront lots that used to sell for a few $100s a foot are now ranging anywhere from $500 per foot as high as $1,500 per foot. So that's a complete reset of what Miami waterfront means. And behind this surge are new buyers with new money. Silicon Valley executives, venture capitalists, and tech founders are putting Miami on their shortlist, creating an entirely new category of demand with serious purchasing power. At this point, Miami's luxury market isn't just about real estate anymore, it's become a global lifestyle destination. This is a place on the same playing field as London, Hong Kong, and New York. All right, let's switch gears and let's look at another side of Miami's housing scene, the rental market. But before we do, here's something important. Most of the strategies and insights that actually help save people money or help them spot opportunities, they actually never make it into these videos. I share those in my weekly local newsletter. That's where I break down neighborhoods in detail, I show you hidden chances to invest, and I explain smart moves that you can use right now. So you'll find that link in the show description, and trust me, this is the resource my subscribers have told me that has saved them thousands of dollars. All right, now here's something that you probably wouldn't have believed just 2 years ago. Miami's rental market is actually starting to help tenants. New buildings are opening, inventory is up, and renters finally have some room to negotiate. For example, rents for 2-bedroom units fell 7.7% year over year to $3,350 as of March 2025. That's the first real decline in years. 1-bedroom prices have dropped too, down to 5.9% to $2,550. The consistency across unit types shows that this isn't just a luxury slowdown, it's the broader market shifting. And a big reason for this is supply. More than 18,000 new apartments were delivered in 2024, which outpaced demand, and it gave renters the relief that they've been waiting for. Even Miami-Dade's luxury Class A properties, which once had waiting lists, are now showing a 6.7 vacancy rate in Q1 of 2025. That's forcing developers and landlords to compete for tenants. And you're seeing it most in downtown, where rents had spiked the hardest, and now those same areas are seeing the steepest corrections, and renters are walking away with leverage. The developer concessions tell the story. 1 to 2 months free rent, gift cards worth up to $1,000. These are just perks that didn't exist at the peak of the market. And property managers say this new balance isn't going anywhere anytime soon. 99% expect rents to stay stable over the next 6 months. So that's a big sign that the extreme boom and bust cycle of Miami may be finally calming down. So the takeaway here, Miami's rental market is pretty much maturing. Landlords aren't the only ones calling the shots anymore. Renters are finding better deals, and investors are seeing the returns that match real market conditions instead of speculation. And there's more. This rental shift is just one piece of a much bigger change, one that's moving Miami away from, like I said, the old boom and bust cycle and towards a more sustainable future. People often think that Miami never really changes, that it's just about South Beach and Brickell. But one of the most exciting things that I've seen while helping my new clients is how new neighborhoods are popping up and totally reshaping the city's identity. Miami today is about so much more than the usual hotspots. Take North Bay Village. This 3-island community is transforming fast. I made other videos on North Bay Village, you can go back on the channel. But North Bay Village combines the privacy of island living with easy mainland access, offering 360-degree water views and Miami skyline panoramas you just can't replicate anywhere else. With nearly 5 miles of private and public waterfront, the entire community feels like a resort built into a neighborhood. Then there's the Miami City Innovation District. At $1 billion and 18 acres, it's one of the largest mixed-use projects in Miami's history. We're talking more than 2,600 residential units, 430 hotel rooms, 2 million square feet of office, and 350,000 square feet of retail. This is a full live, work, play environment that's going to create thousands of jobs and establish a whole new economic center. Bay Harbor Islands is another standout. Sitting between the mainland and Bal Harbor, it offers tranquil waterfront luxury while still giving residents access to some of the best shopping and dining in the city. And don't sleep on Little River. What used to be industrial land is now drawing serious investor interest. Affordable prices are turning it into the next Wynwood-style transformation, with residential, commercial, and creative projects moving in. Edgewater has been on everyone's radar lately, but it's leveling up in a major way. Its location gives you quick access to downtown, Brickell, and the Design District, and luxury projects like Aria Reserve, Missoni Bahia are positioning Edgewater as a legitimate alternative to the more traditional high-end neighborhoods. Don't forget, we just got a Whole Foods in Edgewater, so all of this is showing that Miami is turning from a city of disconnected districts into a connective urban system. Each of these neighborhoods adds its own flavor, gives buyers and renters more options across different budgets, and it helps ease the pressure off the most popular areas. And beyond the neighborhoods themselves, Miami is now becoming a true tech hub. Billion-dollar innovation districts are attracting major companies and reshaping the city's economy. And more on that in just a minute. Now, here's the cool part about Miami's change. These new neighborhoods are being designed with something that the old Miami never really focused on. I'm talking about health and wellness. For starters, green building requirements apply to all developments over 50,000 square feet. So that means that every major project has to meet sustainable construction standards, and not just the flashy ones. So in Miami Beach, the rules are even stricter. Any building over 7,000 square feet has to achieve LEED Gold certification. That makes sure that even smaller projects are held to high environmental and wellness standards. It goes beyond construction too. Indoor environmental quality standards now regulate things like air quality, natural lighting, and chemical exposure. These are factors that directly impact your health day to day. Developments are also putting wellness front and center. At the Waldorf Astoria, you'll find a signature spa, state-of-the-art fitness center, and wellness amenities built into the vertical layout of the tower, making it convenient no matter what floor that you live on. Across the city, features like spas, meditation gardens, and cold plunge pools have shifted from those premium perks to what people expect in their amenities. Projects like the Magic City Innovation District are going even further, with nearly 4 acres of public civil space. That means parks, walking paths, and recreational facilities are built right in the community design, so staying active becomes part of daily life. It's not a separate routine. The city's SMART program is helping too, with bike-friendly infrastructure and pedestrian-focused planning that makes walking and cycling realistic options. And transit-oriented development is reducing the need for cars altogether, prioritizing walkability and public transit instead. On top of all of that, Miami is expanding investments in parks and open spaces, giving residents more places to gather, decompress, and enjoy the mental health benefits of green space. So with all that said, this all adds up to a new way of thinking about city living. Miami is showing that building healthy communities means making wellness easy, accessible, and natural. And that's drawing people who want more than just luxury. They want a lifestyle that feels good too. The result is a city that's not only more livable, but more attractive for everybody. And wellness is just one part of the story, because Miami is raising the bar across the board when it comes to development. If you think that this city still lacks high quality standards, hate to break it to you, but that idea is outdated. Take technology. Miami now has citywide 5G coverage, providing the backbone for smart city applications and high-tech business operations. Add in smart traffic management systems that use real-time data to reduce congestion and improve safety, and you can see the shift towards a more connected, efficient city. The city is also preparing for the future with autonomous vehicle infrastructure, and it's currently laying the groundwork for the next generation transportation before it even hits the mainstream. Inside new developments, advanced tech is now the standard. Smart home systems, high-speed internet, and integrated building management aren't add-ons anymore, they're pretty much required. Plus, EV charging stations are being built into new projects, supporting sustainable transportation and attracting environmentally conscious residents. On the energy side, smart grid upgrades are strengthening power reliability while making it easier to integrate renewable energy sources. And green building requirements now go beyond simple compliance, ensuring long-term building performance and healthier living environments. The philosophy has shifted too. Developers are focused on buildings designed for longevity instead of just maximum square footage. It's about quality over quantity, with projects like the Waldorf Astoria setting benchmarks so high that other developers have no choice but to match them. The result is a chain reaction. As standards rise, buyers become more thoughtful, and that forces developers to keep pushing the bar higher. Miami isn't just about price anymore, it's becoming a top-tier market where smart buyers invest in solid, long-lasting construction that's actually gonna hold value over time. And here's one of the biggest signs that Miami has truly changed. We're now attracting one of the world's smartest industries, tech and innovation. The Magic City Innovation District is this perfect example. This billion-dollar, 18-acre project includes more than 2 million square feet of office space designed specifically for technology companies. It's a purpose-built ecosystem comparable to what you'd find in established tech centers. And the effect is already showing up in the workforce. Tech talent migration is accelerating, with skilled workers relocating here and creating a cycle that attracts even more companies and capital. Miami-based businesses are also hiring remote workers from expensive markets, expanding their talent pools without being limited by geography. And the culture of remote working is sticking. Over 25% of Florida residents now work from home at least once a week, and that flexibility helps retain talent and makes Miami more attractive for professionals, those people who are looking for a balance between career and lifestyle. And on the policy side, Miami has leaned into crypto and digital innovation, giving startups and investors a regulatory environment that's supportive rather than restrictive. That approach has already made the city a leader in emerging financial technologies, and major institutions have noticed. Blackstone and Citadel both established offices here, bringing thousands of high-paying jobs and billions in investment capital. The Emerge Americas conference is another catalyst. Every year, it brings together global leaders, entrepreneurs, and investors, creating connections that often lead to relocations and new investments in the city. For startups, Miami now offers a full spectrum of work environments, from co-working spaces to fully built innovation hubs, making it possible to scale without leaving the city. And university partnerships are deepening the ecosystem, adding research capabilities and creating a steady pipeline of talent. Put it all together, and Miami's tech boom shows just how far the city has come. We're not just attracting companies, we are building everything they need to grow. Modern infrastructure, supportive culture, and a network of talent that gets stronger every year. So at the end of the day, Miami's transformation shows a major shift from being known mostly as a tourist spot to becoming a modern, fast-moving city. Whether you're thinking about moving here or just trying to understand one of the fastest changing cities in the country, it's time to rethink everything that you know about Miami. So you can send me an email, joe@joesellsmiami.com, and let's talk about what you're looking for today. And don't go just yet, because I've got another video for you right here. In it, I break down everything real estate agents won't tell you about living in Miami Beach. So if you're planning to move here, you need to see this one so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.